It's a bit of an update on the Toyota Aygo. So these are actually two things that my wife got me from Goodwood Festival of Speed when we went there a few years ago. She knows the ultimate car is McLaren. I don't think that's ever going to happen, but she went and got me a Lego McLaren by surprise and a nice model, which is pretty cool. Nice model of the P1, which is a bit dusty. Yeah, it's cool. So that sits in my office. So the use case for the Aygo, which is now sold, was I want a new car. I need a second car. I need a reliable second car that's going to cost me as little as possible to run, that I only keep for hopefully 6 to 9 months absolute maximum, and that I lose as little money on as possible when I come to sell it. So I think I've done that. I think I've achieved that quite well. So I paid $5,400 for the Aygo. It was a decent spec. I bought it privately, and I bought it well because the next price of that car was about £500–600 more because they're mainly from dealers. When I called the individual who was selling it, he actually said that private people were asking for finance, which just, I don't quite understand their thought process there. But so I think I bought it quite well looking at the market. I knew straight away we buy any car and the like at the time. We're offering $5,700, $5,800 for it. So quite know why he didn't just go and do it there, I don't know. But anyway, got the car, no tax to run it. It was a decent spec for an Aygo. Again, there's a video on that, so I'm not going to go into all those details here. So once I found my new car, I needed to get that money back, and obviously release the money in the Aygo. I could have sold it privately and probably made more than I paid for it, but I've sold cars privately in the past, and you get people say they're going to turn up, they don't, you leave your weekend free, and then your weekend's ruined, and you get people making you stupid offers and all sorts of stuff, which is a real shame because the brakes were good on it, the tyres were good on it. It was in really good condition. I put like 400 miles on it since I purchased it, and I think I purchased it in August, I might be wrong. But not I barely used it. I need a second car to pick my daughter up from school because both myself and my wife work. So I use it once a week to pick my daughter up from school. And then if we have joint appointments where they clash, not joints, clashing appointments, I need a second car. So it doesn't get used that often. And I adjusted the clutch on it myself because it had a really low biting point. And I think it was a really good car. Don't get me wrong, it wasn't comfy. I don't know how I see those on motorways and journeys like that, and it is not comfy. It's quite loud on the inside when you drive it for a start. The suspension's fine and everything. Obviously it's pittance in terms of power and performance, but it's just quite loud, which is just draining after a while. There aren't any armrests. There's nowhere to really rest your arms. It's not particularly comfortable. So yeah, goodness knows how people take them on long journeys, but more power to them for doing so. Fit my golf clubs and stuff in, so I used it to go and play golf a couple of times. So yes, ultimately, what did I sell it for? So I sold it for £5,250. So I lost about £150 on it. I didn't have to lose £150 on it. I probably could have made £150, £200 on it. But first of all, it's a bad time of year to be selling cars because people are putting their money into Christmas and other things. So it could have hung around longer than I wanted it to, and I could have floated the cash. But I didn't want to. For the sake of 300 quid, I just wanted it sold. So I went to We Buy Any Car, Motorway, all those types of people. And I ended up going with a company called We Buy Any Motor, which is obviously a very similar thing, strangely enough, but very easy process. Went on, got a value, came to the house, obviously knocked me down. I got it back up by about 100 quid, and we ended up with £5,250. So 150 quid loss over August, 3 months or so, 4 months or so, yeah. I'm pretty happy with that. So I think the lesson is always that you make the money in the buying and not in the selling. And I'll talk about that more when I come to look at the next car I'm buying as well. But yeah, it served its purpose. It didn't cost me anything. I didn't have to put tyres on it. I think I only filled it once. The economy on it was obviously a huge strong point and a bonus for that particular car. So I put 1 tank of petrol in it, which cost me about 45 quid, which is way more than I thought. So actually I sold it with 3/4 of a tank. So maybe I put a tank and a half in it. But yeah, it did its job really well, really pleased with it. And on to the next car, which I will be revealing hopefully next week. I'll pick it up, if all things being equal, I'll pick it up on the 18th. So I'll put something up on the 18th, a quick video about why I chose that car, what it is, what other cars I looked at, and how I arrived at my decision. And I've already got some stuff ordered for it, nothing crazy. I bought the next car specifically, so I don't have to do too much to it, but there are some bits I want to do. So I'll talk that through, and again, we'll follow the journey of that car. So yeah, Aygo's gone. I wish it was one of these, but it's still going to be very exciting. Cheers, everyone.